The project to promote economically viable rubber smallholding in Nigeria is bringing hope and helping farmers turn a new page. It is financed by the Common Fund for Commodities (CFC) and executed by the World Agroforestry Center and the Rubber Research Institute of Nigeria in 5 states of Ogun, Edo, Delta, Akwa Ibom, and Kaduna. These rubber smallholdings have helped in rekindling interest in rubber cultivation.
We have designed an agroforestry system where the farmer will be able to plant high value trees, high value crops, either in the periphery of their plantation or in the interrows of their rubber. So by that way, you find that farmers will be able to grow crops that will give them money before their rubber comes into tapping. And by the time the rubber comes into tapping, the farmer will get his money every day, because the rubber business is an everyday business. And of course, its peripheral planting, which are high value fruit trees, will continue to give the farmer money for a very, very long time. In fact, for a lifetime.
As varies as the states, local government areas, experiences of farmers, and soil type, so too is the variety of crops being intercropped with rubber.
I intercropped cassava and plantain because they yield faster than other crops. Like in our zone here, people buy gari here and plantain.
You see, melon gives more money than any other intercropping. Like cassava, if you intercrop, if you do any intercropping as in cassava, you are still going to wait for 10 months before you can get something. But in case of melon, 2 months and 5 days, you start getting your money.
Common plants that we plant is cassava, vegetable leaves, we plant cucumber, pepper, and garden eggs.
Vegetable and the cassava, then they plant, and the pepper, and the water leaf.
Cassava, yam, these are the 2 major things that we raise in it. Because in the yam farm, we sell from it and then we use the remaining one for feeding. And we and the month of August or June, we plant cassava inside so that to give shade to the rubber when they are young. Because cassava no dey drop the whole leaf wey you get. That is why it is good to maintain. Even cocoa, we use it to raise cocoa too in this our side. Cassava is good because why? It gives shade at all time. And then when it's not hard, when you are removing it, it does not disturb the root of the rubber. It can't disturb because it bear on the surface of this thing. And then it doesn't gather weeds at the bottom. Like on pineapple now, you can gather weed where you cannot, because if chemical touches pineapple, it will condemn the pineapple, but it will still reserve weed within it. Unlike ogede, it's the same thing. So ogede in the dry season, in the rainy season, when rain is much, it doesn't allow the rubber to grow. But in cassava, it gives chance.
Locally, we have the bush mango, which we call uyo, then the udara, then uyayak, it's a spice. Then we have the local pear, eben.
After the training, I raised about 25,000. No, I raised more than that, but it won't succeed. That the body storm that okay for planting is 25,000. So I planted 5,000 to make sure I know what I produce. So I now sold the remaining 20,000 out at the rate of 90 naira per ton. But this year I've now prepared 40,000, which you see the borders there are budding. So and I intend to plant more this year than last year. And this year I'm going to sell cheaper than last year because I want other people to benefit.
The choice of each crop is a well-calculated market-driven strategy to help the farmers raise enough financial resources.
Last year, I generated about 2 million naira last year. Apart from the one planted by me, the one sold out is about 2 million naira, which I want this year to be about 4 million if God can help me. That is my focus this year.
Immediately is my sure. Even the buyers might have been phoning you. Is your melon ready? Because they have started calling me last week because they know that early April I normally start harvesting melon. My profit margin I realize 510.
The first trip I sell 60,000 for cassava. Then for vegetable leaf, I sell it 40,000. Then for cucumber, that cucumber was 30,000.
Vegetable is 45, pepper is 20,000. So water leaf is 10,000.
The value of those crops or those plants are very high here. For instance, most of our people eat ogbono, and if we harvest the bush mango and produce the seed, it will give us much money. And the udara is a fruit which people like to patronize. So we collect them, we can sell and get good money. Also the eben, the local pear, people buy it and eat it. So if we sell it, we'll make good money. People patronize.
So much has been done in terms of capacity development and transfer of technology. All this to facilitate the appropriation and avoid the damage of planting materials during transportation to distant localities.
We have conducted trainings on nursery establishment, trainings on nursery management, and trainings on boarding operations.
Last year, I undergo the training under Rubber Research Institute. So I was taught how to board there. For good 3 days I was there. So I acquired the knowledge from Rubber Research Institute. When I back now, I now transfer the knowledge acquired from Rubber Research Institute to my people. So now I trained almost 6 to 7 people under me. So now they are now perfect.
I've been doing the boarding for 2 years. I can board 500 or 300.
To help farmers raise more monies, they have planted some high-value indigenous fruits and medicinal trees around the farms.
The indigenous fruit trees or high-value plants that have been intercropped in rubber farms are the bush mango, the chrysophyllum, which we all know as the cherry or the African star apple, bitter cola, that's the Garcinia cola, and then the cola nitinda. These trees are being propagated vegetatively, either through marcots, cuttings, or grafting. And the importance of integrating vegetable propagated trees is that you have early fruiting and then you have true to type, unlike when you propagate through seeds. So we've tried different methods of improving these indigenous fruit trees that are on farms now.
Apart from the one we eat locally for our soup, we also generate revenue from it. The one I have now on the other farm, in 2011, I was able to realize about 11,500 naira from it. That one encouraged me now to start planting. Even this year, I'm nursing some already. Apart from the fact that if we have it for local consumption, it also will assist me in reducing the destruction by.
My interest in Avenger is, first of all, in this our area, there is theft of these cash crop trees. But that Avenger is somehow better protected than like this cashew and other trees. So that is why I'm interested in Avenger, because Avenger, it takes time, it's yearly something, and it's always, the market is always there.
These farmers successfully combine rubber cultivation and the rearing of many livestock, rabbits, snails, and honey, to help provide alternative sources of income and for home consumption.
We went to workshop at Benin Then they taught us how to manage it. They gave me 1 male and 2 female.
The Rubber Research Institute of Benin, they give me 1 hive and bee suit, all the materials. When I harvest the first one they gave me, so that one motivated me to add more 5 hives by myself. So I have harvested the first one, so that one motivated me to do more. So I have trained other farmers,
About
like
how many?
15 farmers or 16. So they have their own hives now. If you are going to do marriage or naming ceremony or any, even though if you want to open a house or any other this thing, they used to use it. Even they will find you, even though in the night, they will come and meet you to buy from you.
The project has registered spillover effects. There are many people who are now planting rubber because they were seduced by the successes registered by the project.
Piqued interest because I saw what they did in their farm and I was so impressed. So that was what motivated me into it. And moreover, my elder brother, who is Chief Ebune, has been in the system and in the rubber, production of rubber, and we have been benefiting, and that's the family. So as a result, I picked interest in it, and that was what led into my going into rubber planting.
By the time these rubbers come into tapping, and by the time you give the rubber another 20 years, it forms what we call a climax vegetation. And that will do a lot to the environment, removing a lot of excess carbon. And so it will help to mitigate climate change. And also, by the time you have more rubber plantation, it will help to preserve our forest. Because rubber itself can be used as furniture. You can use it for whatever furniture you want to use it for. So instead of going to the forest to cut down our iroko trees and mahogany that are now so tender, we can still preserve them and use the rubber, especially as we are trying also to introduce the latex timber clone, where you will tap for about 20-25 years and you cut down to have furniture. You do another replanting.
Planting rubber in Nigeria, that has lost most of its natural forest, could play a great role in fixing the environmental problems too.
I'm looking towards a time when the landscape, if you look at the landscape, you see white palms all over the place. I'm looking at the time when some of those areas, like we're already seeing the farms, will be covered by rubber plantation. And I think the future is bright for the crop.